Aloha and welcome to our continued series, Living as Self. In this segment, we're going to call personal validation. Um, what Theresa and I are really trying to propose to you guys is that this information can be made so simple and so singularly simple and so beyond distortion that, over the years, I mean, it's just taken us a long time to validate it. Now, we understand that what we're going to propose here may challenge a bit of what, we know it challenges much of what people are being told their authorities are, but there is a singular concept that informs your body's intelligence, regardless of your design side, your red body bioform configuration. Okay, and where we're really going with this is that if you have an inner authority, what we call inner authority, that is all red, it is still being informed by this body's intelligence, okay? And that if you don't, you still have this body's intelligence to work with, and it does not change, it does not flip-flop, it does not run around like the mind. Then you have this personality concept represented by the black. Okay, just to review, because, I assume that some of you may know a little bit of this, that there's this magnetic monopole, okay, this single pointed magnet flying through space. If any of this is true, this is what we're asking you to validate. You're this single pointed magnet flying through space. You've got this red design crystal creating this entire bioform, your life, everything that's happening that's not conscious, okay? I mean, everything. And then you've got this little black dude riding on top of your head that thinks he's doing something, okay? And he's so susceptible to everything. And my whole suspicion with this began when I started looking at these authorities that were either totally or partially personality-based and watching people struggle with them. She had the great joy and benefit of, from day one, being suspicious about being told she was emotional. Now, we'll put Theresa's chart up here in a second, but she's got a red MG body, okay? So she's been able to verify that, okay? And she's been able to verify her body's intelligence. What we're calling is every one of you has one of these 6 intelligences, okay? I also have this very strong red body. And even as I said that, my body lit up. It knows. But even from here, I've been able to validate, yes, there's my body's intelligence that's informing this system. So what we're asking you to validate for yourself here may seem like having to turn the fucking Titanic for you if you already drank the Kool-Aid. But it's singular. It does not deviate. It does not change. It doesn't vacillate. It's always there. And you have one of these 6 body intelligences, even if you do not have a fully red, design, bioform-based, quote unquote, by human design inner authority. And this is with all due respect to the personality and what its potential is to see the intelligent, to see this world intelligently and see the perfection of it. Now, the trick is, can you free it up, or do you have the path to be able to free it up enough to see all of this? Now, that was a bit of a long entry, but now I'd like to bring on my special guest, as always, Theresa Blanding.
Yes, the special guest is here now.
Well, you are special. You're the only one I can talk to about this.
Right. That's wow. Yeah. And I guess, really the word we should probably use is unique. Okay. Each of us is unique. And that's actually, when we're talking about this personal validation, you do this for yourself and you come to really, I think, embody the understanding of your own uniqueness and appreciating that and loving that, right? I mean, Ra's thing about us all needing to love ourselves. It's like, but how do you get there? How do you get through all of this stuff? And, that's what you and I are really proposing, that it's a whole lot simpler than has really been put out there. And that for all of us, there actually is a true compass to pay attention to. I don't care what your type is, I don't care what the configuration is, that's what we're really proposing, and that it's for you to then validate that for yourself. And you can only do that really, by being present in the moment, and, paying attention to your body, which means that your personality, if it's still yammering at you, well, you're ignoring that. And better yet is that it's actually being quiescent and paying attention to what's actually happening in your life with your body, and that when it's going to happen for you, you actually have something to say. It creates the real outer authority, that there's real experience that you're in touch with, that you can speak about, and that you can, share, support, or even empower other people with, because it's authentic, it's been validated by you, and it's your life.
Well, yes, and when you're speaking from your life, it has atomic weight. It carries calories. There's an energy to it. There's a frequency, and what we're saying is, it took me years in this quagmire because I had learned the accepted construct of human design. I taught it. And it took me a while to really see, no, the truth has got to be simple. It can't be changing. If we're a single pointed magnet and this bioform is doing all this stuff without our awareness, and the truth has got to be simple, and it's got to be unchanging. Now, the personality can either wake up to that fact, or it can bitch about it to the end of its life. And, mine, my personality, Crystal, may be bitching to the end of its life, but I'll save that for the collective idiots called humans. Okay, the collective, I'm not talking to you unique individuals that are actually trying to, make some sense out of this whole trip, okay? But that there's gotta be some simple body truth to this information. If this is a body, follow your body system. And then if you just look at the red and it doesn't change and the black is all over the place, that should raise some flags, And then you start to see, what is unchanging, unbending in your design, and so this is where, Theresa has a much better example than I do. She's got an MG body with this black emotional definition that's basically her personality. And right from the get-go, she was suspicious about all of this. But we're not trying to put our trip on you. We're just saying that there's this one singular point that doesn't change. And it's so simple. And like all truth, human design has just gotten lost in the layers and layers of bullshit that people keep putting on it. And, it's an experiment, guys, experiment.
Well, yeah, and as we know, generally speaking, the truth is buried in bullshit. That's how it's always been protected. I mean,
Right.
The truth itself can stand alone. We know that if it's the truth. And then there's, the reality that we live in. But we also are living in a time, that the truth is really being revealed. I mean, this is our opportunity to really bring out the truth. And, for me, I think personally, I mean, I'm a generator, I'm, a manifesting generator, but that, the generator is here to know themselves. And so, my whole process, I mean, and way before, my whole life really is like trying to sort out, who am I and what's really going on here. And that at a very young age, I had the realization that there was some part of me that really wasn't changing, that was always there in every situation. Okay. I had no I had no concept for that, but I understood that and kind of knew that was true. And when I met human design, like John is saying, I was skeptical because this whole emotional authority that I had, I was suspicious about that because Ra was so anti emotional. I sat in a class right after, I got my reading from him, and he's saying, well, he just hoped that all the emotional people would die. That gave one real, it's like, oh, great, this is my authority, and this is like, like wearing a red X on my forehead or something, and that I should die with everyone. And then, there was obviously this evolution within the knowledge, by him about the emotional process, and he clearly moved away from that position. But even at that, I was still, especially when he started really talking about, and I was there personally in Ibiza in 2007, I believe it was. Anyway, he's really talking about the body. The body is the thing that, the body is really, it's all about the body. And so when I got an opportunity to ask him, I'm like, well, then I don't get this, because my body in this case is this MG with these channels, these the power column up the middle, and it's split off from this conscious emoting channel, which you're telling me that's my authority. And there's something wrong with what you're saying here. Could you please explain it to me? Okay, how can my body be the authority? And then if I print my chart, and I've been told even by you that I'm emotional in this way. So he really didn't answer me at that time. Okay. And it's taken obviously a number of years of continuing to, I'm a 3-5, so I'm like a dog on a pant leg, not letting this go, because there's something about understanding myself and paying attention to myself, and really coming to this place of seeing, oh yeah, my body's not emotional. My body gets up in the morning and it does everything. And then, it's my mind that's emotional, that, after the fact, I'm like, getting upset or having, some emotional understanding about what's going on in my life. And that was really kind of, the breakthrough a couple of years ago in my own process. And then really, talking to John about it and trying to sort through the information itself, because the most interesting thing to me is where I really did come to this. I mean, when we're talking about the intelligence of the body, he was talking about this and then went somewhere else with everything. And so it's taken some digging on my part. Lucky for me, he, at the very beginning, gave me the opportunity to write the Human Design Encyclopedia, okay? And so I got all of this information, and so I can, as a 3-5 and the scientist that I am, just going through that. And so not only have John and I personally validated this, both of us with our clients have validated it, and really it's in the information. Ra did say it at one point. It just got covered over with a whole lot of stuff. And so we're just working up from this place, saying this is simple. This is really simple. It's singular in that sense, and that there's a compass for each of us, no matter your type, no matter your configuration. And to me, it's like, what a relief to be able to know that.
Yeah, and this particular question also, I brought it up very early in my human design, too, and everyone jumped on me and blah blah blah, and it's taken me a long time, but the way it was laid out that I was a splenic projector, well, hell, that I am a splenic projector. It's all red. It does. That's how it works. My body lights up. But that's what that was where I was so suspicious, Theresa, is everybody kept talking to me from this place of thinking they were doing their authority, and it wasn't a physical thing they were dealing with. okay?
Right.
Every teacher, every person I tried to, I mean, they had some shuck and jive, and now, you know, I've been through all of the different modalities. I've seen all the variations and different readings and different ways of looking at it. And I'm still down to the, yeah, but there's a red body flying through space, and there's a little dude in there that thinks he's doing something. And until he's free of that delusion, I will go with delusion instead of illusion. That's not a real person. It's not the potential of the personality. The black is just being scooped up and pushed on by the white, what we call the not or false self. It's being sent off frequency. It does jump around all over the place. Mine jumps around all over the place. Everybody I know's that's got anything. I mean, it's just, it's mine. Watch it for 10 seconds and you'll understand it's insane. Be present with your body in the moment and validate for yourself that there's an intelligence and that you're just this bioform having, you know, this, you know, kind of dream state illusion that you're having some sort of a life. And you could actually just relax and quit trying to, you know, flip out and fix everything and freak out on everything. But the amount of shuck and jive and backpedaling and everything when I've tried to corner people on this has actually been funny, but also I've validated it with my students. I've validated it with those brave enough to actually take their own experiment, not listen to the damn teachers, and figure it out for themselves. But we know those people are so far and few between, you know? Everybody wants to be told what to do, and everybody, we're in that time. Everybody's got an answer for you. And for Theresa and I, we've had to like shield ourselves essentially from, you know, whatever all of these distortions are, because this is the simplest concept in human design, guys. Your body is the master. It's the intelligent driving machine. You have the potential to wake up to that. We're done.
And okay. I mean, I think, you know, yeah. the monopole is really the puppet master. Okay. The monopole is the one that really is managing, you know, the design crystal and the personality crystal. But, you know, the other thing I want to say, and what I really did love about Ra and about the knowledge from the very beginning when I met it in 1997 was him always saying, don't trust me, verify this for yourself. Okay, because I have been around a lot of teachers in the spiritual world, and it's like, this was pretty refreshing to have this guy say, don't trust me, you know, figure this out for yourself. Is it true for yourself? And, you know, that's exactly what both John and I are saying. It's like, because it doesn't matter to either of us if anybody else really validates this. Okay, that's not what we're, you know, looking for. We're not going to have a likes that you can now, you know, everybody on your social media can like this. Okay, we could care less about all of that, because that isn't the point. The point that we're speaking to is you as an individual examining what we're saying here. And obviously we have more to say about it, you know, because it applies on every individual chart. And we're going to start to talk about our chart specifically, so you can start to see this. But really the Titanic of the mind is not going to even start to turn around until you actually really get and embody the fact that you're not making decisions, your body's making these decisions, your life is being unfolded in the perfect way that the monopole is directing with the current neutrino stream. And so you get to just watch that. And if that's true for you, then it's true for everyone. Okay, you got to do it for yourself first, but if you actually come to that realization in yourself, then you can start to look around and see, oh yeah, everybody's just being played by the program okay? Because the totality itself, the evolution itself is moving as it's moving, and you're one small frequency in that, but you have this great thing called self-reflected consciousness, so you can actually watch your life and see your part in that and come to what is purpose. It's like, Ra always said, the purpose reveals itself. Well, how does it reveal itself? It's the fact that you're actually looking at your life from a place that's not making any decisions.
Yeah, yeah. Sweetie, that was beautiful. Honestly, I was just, I feel like I'm back in the lecture. No, you're such a mad scientist. I mean, her third line mind. I mean, she is like a dog with a bone. I mean, it's like, it's mad what she comes up with and how deep she goes and how many places Ross said it's all about the body. You're flying in a straight line through space. It's the second class you ever take in human design. I don't know what happened, man. Like, but I also love, again, what you said, self-validation, self-verification, and then you don't give a shit whether anybody else agrees with you. Because you got yourself. And if this helps you, great. If adding this frequency to what you understand is your authority, I've worked with people with that has some validity to it. Or we've got a whole other thing, but we're going to be laying out these frequencies. We're going to be trying to point you to, you all have a body intelligence that's alive in you, and this is the empowerment that human design is here to bring. Is like, you're not here to believe any of this nonsense, and you never were. And yes, God bless the man, but of course I'm going to challenge him. I'm going to challenge everything. But my big verification for this, I mean, this is my big verification for this. I can't unsee it. I cannot unsee it. I was playing around with it, just like many of you may be playing around with human design. And then I found myself in free fall. And once you see something, you can't put that genie back in a bottle. Okay. Theresa, as an MG, was able to validate this for herself because she has the exact construct where her authority is basically a personality-based authority. So it's not really what we're calling authority today. Okay, so, let's just use body intelligence so that we don't have to, what's informing her body's intelligence. She can verify it inside herself. I was watching it, but now I can't unsee it. And that's my big verification. Now I can verify it all in my own chart, yes. But once I can't unsee something, it's written, guys. I mean, for me, and it's got to be simple. It's got to be not buried in bullshit, and it's got to be constant and true.
John, and I love what you said, and I think this is something I really want everybody that's hearing this to take away, is that we as human beings are here to communicate with each other. I mean, if you look at the core of the system, the thing that holds the whole totality together, it's the acoustic, okay? It really is our ability to speak to each other, okay? And that you're talking about, I think you called it weight. I mean, it's like atomic weight. It's like the truth itself has weight. And so when somebody's talking to you, I mean, you can either tell, oh, this is just a story they've heard from somewhere. This is some belief that their mother gave them. It's got no calories, as you're saying, and it's like, so you're looking for the people that when they're actually putting something out, it has weight. But more than anything, you need to find that within yourself, because then your purpose of being a human being that's here to share and support and empower other human beings with the reality of your own life has weight. And so you're listened to, you're brought into the things so that you get more to witness for yourself. Okay. So, we just want you to try it. Okay. If if nothing else, it could answer a lot of questions. That's the thing I'm finding with a number of my clients who, I gave them a session a number of years ago using kind of the standard template. And now I talk to them because of their own configuration. The authority that I was talking to them about, it really isn't that. It's different because it's actually, I'm looking at the design. Okay. There are these generators that had this, unconscious sacral that are saying to me, and it isn't even a design definition to the sacral. It happens to be half black, and half red. And they're like, what response? They can't find the response. They never could find the response. And we're saying, oh, go find your response, And it turns out that, in the one case that I'm thinking of, well, it's really this particular person has a design definition that's emotional. Okay. And so this, anyway, we've really cut through a lot of stuff for many of these people that were somewhat mystified. Okay. And we were trying our darndest to really help them get themselves in a way that with others, it clearly worked. It was like, wow, you just, you hit the nail on the head, and that's so right on. And so for me, the great joy in all of this is I finally feel like I have a real tool that can be used for any person. And that it really hits the mark, because we're actually really talking about what's going on, which is the body's intelligence.
And that was beautiful. Good. Thank you. Generator, all I said was, see if you could smell your response. And they just started laughing because they knew it was true, because they had just moved, because they didn't like the way it smelled or something. And, or feel your will. And, because they had a reflector body, and it's like, okay, now I got it. What is this response? But also, I want to confirm, even in that cobbled together scenario, like a red and black to the sacral, let's say a cobbled, and we don't mean to be rude, it's just two different concepts, red and black coming together in the sacral. Now, I've been in the presence of an in the now generator and could feel there is a response, that the motor is still there. We're not saying it's not. We're just saying how you get to that motor may be a little bit different. We're giving you a different and a more simplified way of looking at this, and just hoping enough of you will test it and verify it for yourselves, or Theresa and I will just entertain ourselves with our madness until
I have a good time. That's right. So, next time, the next time we do this, we are gonna bring up our charts. You've seen them. They've been shown to you during this intro, but the next time we'll actually put them up and start talking about them, so you start to get a real sense of this. And we're here to put this information out so it can be used by you personally to do something with it for yourself. And it's always a pleasure, John, to get this opportunity for us to talk and actually, record it and unleash it.
Unleash it. Okay, we're looking at our charts next. Good. I was wondering what was next. Thank you.
That's next. So, tune in. We'll be here. We're coming to the wonderful holiday season. Yes. And so who knows what will happen during this time, but we'll be, we plan to talk to each other, soon. And
we'll be here when we can.
Yeah, that's that. When our bodies meet again, we will talk more.
All right. And then here comes the rainstorm.
Oh, perfect.
Have a beautiful day. Aloha from Hawaii. And you want to say goodbye, Theresa?
Goodbye. Take care. Validate.
Validate. Yes. Personal validation. Please.
That's it. Okay.
Okay.